Does anybody else find yellow a particularly difficult color to work with? I sure do. It is the lightest value color out of all of our primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, and so it mixes and interacts with colors differently. In this video, I'm going to draw this yellow flower study, and as I do, I'm going to be sharing tons of tips with you on what works and what doesn't when you're drawing yellow subject matter. I would strongly encourage you to draw your yellow subject matter with a yellow colored pencil and avoid using any graphite when you're drawing yellow subject matter, because the yellow is so light in value, it can show mistakes and it can mix with other colors a lot easier. So here I've come in with a yellow outline, and now I'm blocking in the shadow shapes with a yellowish brown color. This particular color is a LIGHTFAST colored pencil. It's called brown ochre, and it's about a 50% value color on a scale from 0 to 100%. And although I'm drawing shadows, I am using a lighter value color because, of course, like I just described, yellow is a light value color. So I don't want to come in there with a dark brown or a violet or a blue or, oh my gosh, don't use black. Okay, promise me you won't do that. We want to use light value colors, and we can always build it up and get it darker, but it's going to be a lot harder to make it lighter. So start with something that maybe feels a little too light possibly, and then you can build it up with subsequent layers. So here I'm still using the brown ochre, but now I'm adding a little more pressure. I'm going in other directions, kind of a cross-hatching style to build up and fill in the tooth of the paper a little bit more. And this is giving me an opportunity to refine all the shadow shapes. Taking some time to refine the shadow shapes is going to give this flower form and volume before I ever start monkeying around with color. So I mentioned that I'm using the LIGHTFAST colored pencils, and I don't necessarily feel that there's one brand of colored pencils that is going to be better for yellow subject matter, but what I do think is important is that you have a wide variety of different kinds of yellows available to you. I love the LIGHTFAST colored pencils, and their 72 set has a great set of yellows in there. Here I'm using sun yellow, banana, and then that lighter value color that's more of a creamy yellow is called champagne, and I'm actually only really using these three colors here to build up the color. I'm going to use a variety of different colors later on in the process, but my first stage of the drawing is really focusing on getting the values mapped in and getting an idea and an understanding for what's going on in the color, not necessarily getting into the fine details. I have a link to the 72 set of LIGHTFAST colored pencils and the LIGHTFAST paper down in the notes below. And if you're interested in getting some of these pencils, using my link is a great way to support the channel. Blending with solvent is a pretty standard part of my colored pencil process. I love using solvent because it intensifies the color, and I find this particularly useful with yellow. It really makes it stand out, makes it so vibrant. If you are new to solvent, make sure that you watch my solvent video. I'm going to link it down in the notes below, and I'm going to share a ton of tips on how you can use solvent safely and effectively in your colored pencil artwork. If you've been enjoying this video so far, I would love it if you hit that thumbs up button. It's a great way to support the channel, and all it takes is one teeny tiny little click. I would also love to hear from you in the comments section. Let me know if you find it difficult to render yellow objects and what other subject matter you find difficult to draw. Do you find white objects difficult, metallic objects, portraits, animals? I want to hear from you, and you never know, this might just become a topic for my next video. When it comes to warming up your yellow or adding details or making the colors more specific, be really intentional about the colors you're choosing to do that. So here in the center of the flower, I am adding reds and oranges to warm up the color in the center. This is helping to draw the viewer's eyes inward. I could have used brown here in the center of the flower, but red is going to add that warmth and intensity. I don't need that warmth and intensity everywhere though. In some parts of the flower, it's going to need to be cooler. And for those areas, I am choosing a yellow that's closer to green. So think like a green gold color. And that's happening in those shadow areas to cool it down. But I'm not jumping into blue or dark gray. That would be too much. you always need to be mindful about the local color, yellow, and how that's going to be impacted by the colors that you choose to go with it. Here I'm using a light lavender colored pencil to neutralize some of those really bright, intense yellows. But how do I know that this works, and why do I do this? Well, purple is the color that is opposite on the color wheel from yellow. They're complementary colors, and when they're mixed together, they neutralize each other. So if I want to tone a yellow area down, I could add purple. Now, adding dark, rich violet colors is going to be way too intense for this, but a lighter lavender could be great. This lavender that I use in this piece is called Wild Lavender. It's in the 72 set, and it's one of those colors that you kind of have to get a larger set to get or purchase it open stock. Unfortunately, these lovely subtle colors very rarely come in your 12 and 20 sets. So that is something to keep in mind. If you want to work on really subtle subject matter, make sure that you fill out your colored pencil set and that you have some really subtle colors that you're going to be able to use to fine tune the details in your piece. Your final touches can be key to taking your drawing from pretty good to amazing. And I think that with a yellow flower, adding some of those defects in the petals can be really great. As I'm thinking about how this drawing is wrapping up, I am remembering how it started, and I actually have an entire video about how I composed this piece and how I really intentionally selected a strong composition. If you'd like to check out that video, it's going to be linked down in the notes below. This video skimmed the surface on working with yellow, but if you want to dig deeper into drawing flowers and botanicals, then you need to check out this playlist. I've got videos ranging from drawing detailed flowers with colored pencil to creating abstract backgrounds to creating a more painterly effect with your media. Can't wait to see it in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.